3 promotions in 3 years wasn't enough for Wrexham. The North Wales club owned by Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds is still pushing for more and having another wild season. Right now, they sit in the top 10 in the championship, right in the mix for a promotion playoff spot. And Phil Parkinson's side are seriously chasing a 4th straight rise that could take them all the way to the Premier League. It's crazy how far they have come in such a short time. They're also making noise in the FA Cup after knocking out Premier League side Nottingham Forest and fellow promotion chasers Ipswich Town to reach the last 16. People are starting to wonder if a Hollywood ending could be on the card, even if the odds say it's unlikely. Now, while the story feels like a fairy tale, it hasn't happened by accident. Wrexham has been heavily backed financially by Mack and Reynolds, along with the Allen family and Apollo Sports Capital, giving the club serious resources to climb fast since the takeover in 2020 when they were still in the 5th tier. To keep up with championship football, the squad had to evolve quickly too. Fan favorites like Paul Mullen, Ollie Palmer, and James McLean, heroes of the earlier promotions, have moved on as the club brought in higher level talent, spending around £38 million on signings this season alone. Now, not every move has worked perfectly, but the one thing that's been clear is that Wrexham's ambition is massive, and their rise has been faster than anyone expected. Nathan Broadhead was supposed to be Wrexham's big signing last summer. He joined from Ipswich in a club record £10 million deal, but so far the Welsh forward hasn't really lived up to the hype, scoring only 4 goals in 24 league games.
Broadhead is a very good player, Justin, but £10 million?
Instead, it's been his Wales teammate, Kiefer Moore, who has stepped up. This guy is an absolute unit. The 6'5" striker has become the main target man up front, scoring 10 goals in 29 championship matches and giving Parkinson's system the focal point it needed. At the back, Dominic Hyam has been one of the most reliable additions. The Scotland international settled in quickly and has started every league game since making his debut in September, becoming a key part of Wrexham's back 3. Then you have other new faces like Ben Sheaf, Callum Doyle, Lewis O'Brien, and Josh Windass have all played their parts too, but the team still relies heavily on the players who were there during their climb through the leagues. You have Max Cleworth, a product of Wrexham's academy. He's played more league minutes than anyone this season. Then you have Arthur Okonkwo, who remains the first choice keeper just like in previous promotions. Then you got George Dobson, who continues to be a big presence in midfield after arriving during their League One campaign. Parkinson deserves credit for improving the squad without ripping everything apart. It would have been easy to change too much and lose the identity that got them where they are. Their FA Cup run shows just how competitive this team has become, beating Nottingham Forest on penalties, knocking out Ipswich, and now they have their eyes set on the Club World Cup champions Chelsea. It's another chance for Wrexham to make a serious statement. Now, the recent losses at home to Norwich and Millwall have definitely hurt their momentum a bit, pushing them just outside the top 6. They've also played more games than some of the teams around them, which makes their situation a bit tougher. They were close to jumping back into the playoff spot after leading away at Bristol City, but an 89th minute equalizer meant they had to settle for a 2-2 draw instead. Some of the deeper stats suggest that Wrexham might be performing slightly above expectation. They set 13th in the championship for expected goal difference and 18th for expected goals conceded, which shows there are still areas to improve. Interestingly, they rank 6th for big chances created, which was higher than their league position, showing that their finishing has been inconsistent at times. Even so, Wrexham are still right in the playoff race, with just a bit more of the season to go, and their FA Cup run shows that Parkinson's style can work really well in knockout football.
We've achieved that, and it's one of those ties that everybody's looking forward to. We've been waiting for a Premiership team here at the Stoke Carras Stadium.
While they could still fall short of the top 6, they're definitely in the fight, and the bigger picture suggests that the club is building towards something even bigger, from squad development to long-term projects like the new Cop stand. Now, maybe this season ends up being too soon for another promotion. I mean, 4 promotions in 4 years would be an incredible ask, even for a team on this kind of rise. But Wrexham, they've surprised people before. Many people doubted they could go up from League One right away, and then even after their promotion from non-league in 2023, there were some warning signs about how tough the EFL would be. Now though, Wrexham look comfortable in the championship, and honestly, they might be ready for even more. The Premier League doesn't feel like a dream anymore. It feels like a real possibility. Now, if they do end up going to the Prem, what a story it would be, because Wrexham's rise to this point has been an incredible journey. It actually started in a pretty unexpected way. Humphrey Kerr, who is now a director at the club, became close friends with Rob Mack while working as a writer on the comedy show Mythic Quest. During the pandemic, Rob got serious about football and asked Kerr to look into clubs they could invest in. A few teams were considered, like Aldershot, Carlisle, and even Shamrock Rovers. Eventually though, they chose Wrexham. Then came one of the biggest moments in the story. Ryan Reynolds randomly messaged Rob on Instagram to compliment his acting on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. What a nice DM to get. I wish I got direct messages like that on Instagram. Instagram. Instead, I just get death threats from Ronaldo fans. Now, these guys started talking. They built a friendship and soon decided to take over a football club together. So, in February of 2021, the Hollywood duo of Yankees officially bought Wrexham from the Supporters Trust and immediately invested £2 million into the club. Maybe I should hit them up. They could invest in my channel. Kerr later explained that Reynolds and Mack were fascinated by English football, especially the idea that a club can rise from the bottom all the way to the top. Because remember, relegation and promotion doesn't exist in American sports. Since Phil Parkinson became manager just months after the takeover, Wrexham have basically been on a non-stop rise. They've never finished lower than second place in any league under him. His first season ended in playoff heartbreak against Grimsby Town, but the following year was historic, with Wrexham winning the National League title with a record 111 points, finally returning to the Football League after 15 years. From there, they didn't slow down. The club finished second in League 2 with 26 wins to secure back-to-back promotions, and then kept pushing forward in League 1, competing with former Premier League sides and eventually grabbing another promotion spot. Parkinson's numbers are actually pretty incredible. 112 wins in 181 league matches, a win rate just under 62%, over 360 goals scored, and more than 2 points per game on average. He's also taken them to an FA Trophy final and multiple FA Cup fourth round. A huge part of Wrexham's global rise has been the Welcome to Wrexham documentary. The show has introduced millions of new fans to the club and the town itself. The new season is coming out soon, season 4, and it will cover their jump from League 1 to the Championship, making them the first team in the top 5 English divisions to achieve 3 promotions in a row. Now, even though the club doesn't directly earn money from the show, it has massively boosted their popularity. It's helped them get sponsorships and increase their overall revenue. Kerr said the documentary helped explain to the American audience why football means so much to communities in places like Wrexham. The series has won multiple Emmy Awards, showing just how big this story has become. The long-term goal for Rob and Ryan Reynolds has always been clear. They want to grow Wrexham into a Premier League club while improving the stadium, expanding the fan base, and helping the local community. But they know that moving up to the Prem would bring new challenges. The squad size will increase, matchday squads will get bigger, and the club will likely need more high-quality signings in order to stay competitive. That means higher wages and more investment. There are also plans to upgrade the facilities and expand the academy and the women's team.
But then Rob said, listen, I believe in people, and I believe in Phil and the team that we have here and the people around him.
All of that costs serious money, but Wrexham are in a strong financial position. They made £26.7 million in revenue during their League 2 season, which is close to some of the championship sides. If you actually look at the numbers, it shows you just how fast things have moved. Wrexham is now valued at around £350 million, which is a massive jump from the day the club was bought for just £1 plus a promise to invest £2 million back in 2021. Transfer spending has grown alongside that rise. The current record signing is Nathan Broadhead, who arrived for £7.5 million. A pretty big leap from the £300,000 paid for Ollie Palmer just a few years earlier. Investments haven't only gone into players. They also spent a ton of money on a new pitch, with undersoil heating at the racecourse ground, a moment that even surprised Ryan Reynolds when he heard the price. Off the pitch, the club's popularity has really exploded. They had over 50,000 fans, packed in a stadium in North Carolina during a preseason tour, showing that their story had crossed the Atlantic. Tours in the US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand have only added to that global buzz. At home, attendance keeps climbing. Last season, their average crowd of 12,781 was the highest in the club's history, and the new Cop Stand is expected to hold even more fans when it's finished. Just another part of a bigger plan to expand the stadium to around 28,000 seats. Since the takeover, Wrexham have played 279 games, winning the majority of them with a goal difference of plus 248. Academy graduate Max Cloworth now holds the record for most appearances during this era, while club hero Paul Mullen leads the scoring charts with 110 goals across the last 5 years. The 2022-2023 National League title, won with a record 111 points, remains one of the defining moments of their journey. There have been plenty of iconic scenes along the way, like Ben Foster's last-minute penalty save against Notts County, or Phil Parkinson's fiery halftime team talk that became a viral moment on the Welcome to Wrexham documentary. That show played a massive role in turning Wrexham into a global brand, and it's brought millions of new fans into the club's story. The Hollywood connection has created some surreal moments too. Royal visits from King Charles and Prince William, cameo appearances by players in the Deadpool movie, and celebrity crowds at Wembley during the FA Trophy final all show how different Wrexham's journey has been compared to most clubs. But behind all the attention, the football success is real. No team had ever climbed from non-league to the championship in consecutive seasons, until Wrexham did it. The next challenge is even bigger, turning this incredible rise into something sustainable and pushing towards the Premier League. For For Reynolds and Mack, the mission has always been about more than just a short-term fairy tale. They want Wrexham to grow, to compete at the highest level, and become a club that can thrive long after the cameras stop rolling. And if the last 5 years are anything to go by, it feels like this Hollywood story is still only getting started. If you enjoyed this video, I am sure you will like this one too. Check it out right here.